Aunt Hilda was her aunt, and she sent a letter. She wrote a letter since she couldn't be here, and she wanted me to just read it to you guys about her memories of Aunt Hilda.
Oh, we'll have to hear this.
Dear family, I wish I could be there with all of you today to remember my Aunt Hilda with all of you. So many memories. Mama was in the middle of her pregnancy with Aunt Hilda when Grandfather John Hilmore Bell Jr. died in Greenwood, Louisiana.
That's right.
As I am writing this, I realized for the first time that her name Hilda was the feminine form of her father's name, Hill. Although I never heard any of the family mention this. It makes sense though. Aunt Hilda never got to know her father in this life, and it gives me great comfort and pleasure to imagine her meeting him in heaven when she passed from this life to eternity. Welcoming her home with Mama, her brothers Alden, Woodrow, and James, my father. She always called him James. She was such a southern lady. And her sisters. One sister that they referred to as Little Leslie B, since she died from common diarrhea when only 18 months old. And Edna, who died at the age of 9 in this house. She had gone trick-or-treating with my father, and her crepe paper costume was ignited by the candle in the jack-o'-lantern that she carried. She died several days later in this house.
I don't remember Mother telling me that. I remember
Yeah.
about the,
And she was
her mom.
What?
You knew that.
No.
Okay.
Okay. I remember my mom talking about how she had long braids, and that's what caught on fire. Yeah. So much of our family history occurred in this house. Mama paid cash for this house with the insurance settlement she received when Grandfather Hill died in Louisiana. Mama moved here with her sons, Aunt Edna, and of course Aunt Hilda, who was yet to be born. Her sister, Aunt Oni, and her mother, Grandma Easley, were already here, renting a house across the street from this house. So there we go, Easley.
Yeah.
There we go. Mama and her family made this their home. Her sons worked at various jobs to help support the family. Aunt Hilda grew up in this house. She attended schools in the area, and after graduating from school, she became a fashion model. She was beautiful, tall and slender with thick, dark, chestnut brown hair that would do anything she wanted it to do. She had such a sense of fashion and style, even in casual clothes. I remember my cousins, Nancy and Terry, and I watching her intently as she applied her makeup in the bathroom mirror.
We were talking about that.
She didn't mind. She loved our company, and we loved being with her. She let us try her perfumes and other pretty things on her dressing table. She always had such pretty things on her dresser. Yeah. Uncle Reed was the love of her life, and he really loved her. My cousins Nancy and Terry, my brother Hill, and I attended their beautiful formal wedding that took place in front of the fireplace in the living room of this house. She was a gorgeous bride, and he was a very handsome groom. I still have black and white photos of that day. So many aunts and uncles and friends of the bride and groom were at the wedding. The house was full of laughter, good conversation, and good food. Then her precious daughters were born. First Diane, and then Beverly. How she adored them, and they adored her. Diane and Beverly became very close to my sister Mindy, who were all about the same age. Aunt Hilda maintained her close relationship to her daughters and their families throughout her life. Shortly before Uncle Reed passed, Aunt Hilda began working on the catalog order desk at Sears Ross Avenue. My family and I had moved back to Dallas, and we were Sears customers. I especially liked the Sears catalog, and I would make my list and telephone to place my order. It was such a treat whenever Aunt Hilda was there to take my order. We would catch up on our families, and I would place my order. One time when I called and she answered, I had an especially long list of items to order since our daughters were going off to college in Austin. When I finished giving her the long list, she exclaimed, "My gracious, hon, I will never forget that." I remember that order too. After my husband Charlie and I moved here to Pennsylvania, we stayed in touch. She stayed in touch with us, never forgetting my birthday with a card and a special note of remembrance inside. We never talked on the phone. We just wrote to each other on special days. Last Christmas, she called and left a message on our answering machine. She told us how much she loved us and how so many memories of the family were coming back to her. She wanted to be sure that we knew how much she loved us. She sounded so weak, and I was so sorry that I missed her call. I called back and left a message on her answering machine telling her how much we loved and missed talking to her. Aunt Hilda was my favorite aunt. She loved us the way we were, and we were always at ease around her. We knew she loved us, and we certainly loved her. She knew how to do cartwheels and handstands. I never got the hang of those, but Nancy and Terry were champs. She introduced us to Archie comic books and movie star paper dolls. She would walk us to see movies at the Granada or Arcadia Theater nearby. She spent time with us. She was beautiful, fun to be with, a good daughter, sister, wife, mother, grandmother, and aunt. She was very talented. She could sketch, paint, and sculpt. She was a good gardener. She loved having cats and dogs around her. She was a gift to our family, and we will greatly miss her. Until we meet again, love you always, Sharon. I thought that was cute.